Hi, welcome to This Week in Kettering. I'm Carrie Basson with the Kettering Schools, and today is Thursday, September 20th. And my guest today is Dan Von Handorf, and Dan is our Director of Student Services for the district. Welcome, Dan. Great to have you here.
Good morning.
And we're here today to talk about National School Attendance Awareness Month. And Dan, we're putting a lot of time and effort into kind of putting a spotlight on good attendance and how important that is. Talk a little bit about why we're really kind of embracing this National Attendance Awareness Month and really trying to communicate out to our parents and guardians and students.
Sure. September is a perfect time to focus on attendance. We know that attendance, it's a habit, and we want all of our kids to start the school year with a good habit of attendance. There's a ton of research out there. The state of Ohio has recently gone to a new report card marker called chronic absenteeism, which means kids who miss more than 18 days are titled chronically absent. That 18 number seems to be a magic number in research. If a kid misses 18 days or more of school, that's when you start to see academic achievement and growth impacted. And so we want to make sure we get that message out to parents that attendance is really, really important. And September, usually in August, that's kind of getting in the flow of school. And then September, we really want to raise awareness that we want kids there every single day, unless they're too sick to attend. But the teachers love to see them there. We need them there so that they can learn and grow. And
you have a health flyer there that our nurses kind of put together. You mentioned unless a child is sick, we certainly do not want kids that are sick sitting in a desk in a classroom, possibly making other kids sick. So what are some of the guidelines that parents can use when they're trying to decide, you know, should my child go to school today with the sniffles, fever, you know, things like that? How do you kind of gauge what's a good time to stay home and when it's okay to really send the child to school?
Sure. The nurses, they worked hard in conjunction with Attendance Works, which is a national not-for-profit organization that helps schools with attendance. They created this handout that we're going to send home. Actually, it's, believe it or not, getting close to cold and flu season. And so last year we got some feedback from parents that this form kind of got lost in the shuffle. And so this year we're going to send it out at the end of this month, but it gives parents some guidelines when to send a kid, when to not send a kid, because actually some well-intentioned parents wanting to send their kid every day, if they're contagious or have a fever, you actually hurt the overall school attendance because more kids get sick. Right. And so there are general guidelines on here dealing with you know, everything from cold symptoms to pink eye. And so this is on our school website if you would like it now, but you should be getting it home from your student in the next week or so, and that'll give you yes or no tips from the Center for Disease Control and also our school nurses on tips of when to send your student to school and when not to.
It's laid out really nicely, kind of simply, so you can take a quick look at it and say, hey, my kid's, you know, got, like you said, a fever. I definitely don't want to be sending him to school, but he's got the sniffles. Oh, that's probably okay. Put an extra pack of Kleenex in his backpack and send him to school. So.
And we've heard feedback from parents who say this form is really helpful because if their kid's arguing with them about going to school or not, they can point to it and say, look, your school nurse said, and it really helps back them up as a great resource to talk to their kids about if you're able to go to school or not.
Okay. And we're sitting here kind of looking around this nice big trophy. Tell us what this is all about.
Sure. First, I want to thank the Dorwood Optimists. Last year, they agreed to donate 3 giant trophies for attendance awareness, the Attendance Awareness Challenge that we do this month. And so this trophy is owned right now by West Unit at the high school. All 4 units at the high school, they have a competition each week in September. The unit with the best attendance for that week gets to keep the trophy for the week. Also, our middle schools have a great spirited competition going. They're competing against each other weekly for this trophy. And then all 8 of our elementary schools, they're also working to earn this trophy. And so every Friday, we calculate the attendance for that week. And I get the fun job to go around and award this to the winning elementary, middle school, and high school unit for that week. And then at the end of the month, we're really excited about this. The Dorwood Optimists are coming to the October I believe it's October 5th football game against West Carrollton, and they're going to award the trophy for the semester to the winning elementary, middle, and high school. The schools are doing a lot of neat things, and they're having a lot of fun with it. And so,
and this is a real trophy. I mean, it's not one of those little aluminum things. That's nice, heavy heft of a trophy.
Kudos to Dorwood. This is the biggest trophy most of our kids have ever seen,
Yeah,
and it is really heavy. And so it's fun to go around and award that to kids. Some of our kindergarten kids, the trophy's about as big as they are.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned West Unit, and I know the middle schools are this is our second week, 1 for 1, so they've each won it.
Yep.
And I believe Prass, the prowess of Prass has pulled them through first place in both weeks, I believe. But a very close second is Indian Riffle, and I know they're on the heels of Prass. So
yeah, the elementary, it's fun to watch. Prass won both weeks, but they won by less than 1%. And I know the other buildings, they are really excited to take this trophy away from them. And so last year, we did this the very first time last year. Prass won it for one semester, and then we also do this in February. Southdale won it. And then the high school units, they've kind of spread that around. And then at the middle schools, Van Buren won it one semester last year, and KMS won it one semester last year. So it's kind of fun, pretty even competition. All of our elementaries are within 2%, and so they're all just right there. And you can tell kids are excited about the opportunity to earn it.
That's great. And as you said, it's a fun way to kind of focus on the importance of school attendance. So I think you have a pretty neat video out of Grand Rapids that kind of talks a little bit about the importance of attendance for parents and guardians. So why don't we take a quick break here and show our audience that video?
Yeah, great.
You know your child can learn anything. You want your child to succeed. You can help make that happen. Attendance through kindergarten and high school is a large factor in determining your child's success. Did you know your child has the right to 175 days of school per year? But just 2 absences each month add up to 18 days each year. And 18 absences each year put your child in danger of falling so far behind that she won't graduate. It doesn't matter if the absences are back-to-back, far apart, excused, or unexcused. A missed day is a missed day, and a missed day is a missed opportunity. Studies show that 5 or fewer absences in a single school year help keep learning on track. If your household is working toward less than 5 absences a year, you are giving the gift of opportunity to your family. You can help your child succeed in school by using these 6 tips. 1. Set a regular bedtime. 2. Prep clothes and backpacks the night before. 3. Only keep children home if they are truly sick. 4. Have a backup plan for getting to school. 5. Avoid scheduling doctor's appointments and trips during school hours. 6. Aim for 5 or fewer absences a year. You want your child to succeed. Use the tools you have to help make that happen and help your child get the education he has a right to.
Dan, talk a little bit about that and some of the highlights as a student services director and kind of the person in charge of attendance and things like that. Talk a little bit about what we saw in the video.
Yeah, well, it gives some great tips to parents. As a parent myself, one of the ones that impacted me the most is the tip about getting ready the night before. So I've got 4 kids, they all go to Kettering City Schools. If you don't plan ahead, it can be just a race to make the bus in the morning. And so one of the tips was to get all your clothes laid out, make sure you have everything for your lunch ready to go, and have that all in one place, have your backpack in one place, check your kids' stuff from the night before, so that in the morning especially with younger kids, it can be really stressful, and it seems like a fire drill sometimes trying to grab everything. But it's really helpful to me personally by getting organized, having everything laid out, doing a backpack check the night before, so that in the morning all you have to do is get up, get cleaned up, eat breakfast, and you're out the door. It really makes a lot calmer morning, and also helps you get to school on time and to school.
Yeah, like a Chinese fire drill, that's what it kind of sounds like if you don't do that. And
Absolutely.
you got everybody running in 16 different directions trying to get things. And then, as you said, that becomes very stressful.
Absolutely.
And that's not a
And
great way to start the school day.
one more great tip is to always have a backup plan. So I would like to say that we're 100% on catching the bus. Sometimes stuff happens in the morning and you don't, so you always have to have a backup plan, which was one of the tips. What are you going to do, plan B? If something happens that morning, which sometimes it does, what's your plan B? Have that plan ready to go so that you can get your kids to school on time and there every single day.
Absolutely. And you touched a little bit on research and why good attendance is so important and how that can impact a student. And we always say here in Kettering that we like to be welcoming, inviting, and relationships between the adults and the students is so important. And I think that really impacts a student's wanting to be at school. And talk a little bit about that and why that's so important.
Sure. I hope all of our parents have heard the letters PBIS, which is Positive Behavior Intervention and Supports, but we really wholeheartedly believe that it comes down to relationships with kids and teachers. We want our kids to want to come to school because they really want to see their teacher and they want to see their principal. They're excited to come and learn. And so from our perspective from the schools, we want our teachers to be friendly, welcoming, inviting. They do a great job of that. I read, we post pictures of the winners on Facebook. One of the parents said, giving feedback, well, of course Prass won because my kids love coming to school. I would have to fight for them to not be at school. And that's exactly the way that we want it to be. And so kudos to that teacher for having that relationship with that kid. But that really is how it should be. We want our kids to want to get up every day. We want them to want to come into school because they're going to have fun and learn.
Absolutely. And what are a couple other tips as we kind of wind down the show here that you can throw out for parents? I know sometimes there can be challenges with some students getting them to school. And I know you do a truancy prevention program for parents that kind of tries to give them tips on, how to get your child to school. Are there things that you can do as a parent to maybe encourage your child to want to be in school and to be there on a regular basis and not miss those 18 days of school?
Yeah. Well, one, the law is pretty clear. House Bill 410 was recently passed, and it is, kids are mandated to go to school. So the law says kids have to go to school every single day. We are bound by that law, and so we have to do things like attendance intervention plans, and sometimes we have to take kids and parents to court for attendance. But the biggest thing I could say is if you're having issues with attendance, you're having issues with your kids coming to school, reach out to the principal, tell them what's going on, reach out to the school nurse, tell them what's going on. We have a ton of resources here. We want to work with you and help you. I know sometimes kids have chronic illnesses. Mm-hmm. There are some things and resources that we have that can help parents and help kids so that they might not be able to attend every day, but they can attend as much as they possibly can.
Absolutely.
And that's what we want.
So we'd much rather be giving out trophies than to have to get punitive with kids and parents.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Great. Thanks a lot, Dan. Appreciate it. Lots of great information. If you have any questions about anything we talked about today, get in touch with me at 499-1458 or at Carrie.Basson, that's Kari.Basson at KetteringSchools.org. I can put you in touch with whomever it is that can answer your questions for you. And thank you very much for joining us on This Week in Kettering. We'll see you next Thursday.